Right, here we go. So we're gonna talk about our first part for our assembly of our minifigure. So we're gonna draw the head first, and if you want to look at your blueprint for all the measurements that you'll need, and any of the ones that aren't on there we'll include here in the video. So we're gonna start out with looking at the head from the top down. And what I'm doing here is I'm drawing the head and then the little piece on the top. And then we will extrude that out. Make sure you click that circle in the middle too, because we want this whole thing to extrude out. And we'll use that circle here in the next extrusion. Okay, so go back into your sketch because it auto turns off. And then we're going to re-extrude this part. And this just saves you a step of having to draw another sketch on the top. You could do it that way too if you wanted to. Okay, but here on the bottom, we're going to draw a new sketch for the neck. Then I'll extrude this out. So now we basically have the shape of the head now. And what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to add the fillets that are in your blueprints. You can do this all at once. You just have to hit the plus button, type in the separate values for each line that you click on. This top and bottom on the blueprint, it says 0.08. That is the diameter, so the fillet will be half that, 0.04, and then the little small one on the bottom of the neck. Okay, so now it's starting to look more like a Lego head. So what we want to do is draw a face on it. And to do this, you have to project it onto the cylinder. And this is harder because we don't have a plane, so we have to make one. So what we're going to do is construct a tangent plane, and we're going to use the round cylinder part of the head as that face. So now what we're doing is we're drawing on a point tangent to the round face. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw a construction line. So make sure you change that line type. And this is just to divide the face in half. And now I want to turn that construction line off this time to draw my eyes. Okay, and you're going to get these close and then put in the dimensions so that they're spaced correctly. And this is 0.02, not 2. So right now I'm struggling a little bit, but I got it. Okay, and then we'll draw another one over here, same diameter. And then we just want to set them relative to that middle and from the bottom of the neck. So what I'm doing here is just using my dimension tool to set these according to what is in the blueprint. It should be 0.065 from the center for both of the eyes. And then from the bottom of the neck, we'll set that distance to 0.23. now you see how they change from blue to black. That means that they're constrained. They won't move now. So then what we're going to do is draw an arc. Okay, so take this 3-point arc, and you're basically going to click both corners of the mouth roughly underneath the eyeballs, and then make yourself a little bit of a curve there. And then you'll have to get out your dimension tool. So what I'm going to do first here is make this coincident to the center. So that basically just means that that point of the circle and that center line are aligned with each other. They're coincident to each other. And that keeps the smiley face from moving around on me when I do my dimensions. Okay, so now my dimension, I'm going to go off the center of this circle. Okay, that point up there to the bottom of the neck. So that's 0.24 to just make sure our smile is in the right spot. And then the distance across the smile, 0.128. Okay, and then now I'm going to set the angle. And notice because it's blue like this, I can still move it around. So I want to set this radius, and this will start to lock it in place. So this is 0.111. And then the only other way that you can really move this is if you grab a corner of the mouth, you can kind of slide it side to side. Okay, and just position it so that it's pretty close to a smile. There's a way to lock it in place, but we don't need to do that for right now. Then to make this a polygon, so that we can extrude it, we're going to use a new tool here. So this tool is called the offset. And so basically what it does is it just copies whatever you drew and offsets it by whatever given distance you give it. So ours is going to be 0.002. And then you're just going to take your line tool and connect the corners of the mouth. Okay, and then what that does is it makes it a polygon, which allows you to extrude it. And in this case, instead of extruding this like we have in other cases or subtract it, we're going to use this create function called emboss. Okay, so you can emboss, which gives you a little bit of texture on the surface, or you can deboss, which is to cut into the surface. And this does it relative to the curvature of your cylinder. So embossing is a little bit nicer because it makes things go into a circle shape at the correct angles. Okay, and for this one, we'll just cut out 0.01. And then you have your smiley face. Okay, and then look for lesson 2. We're going to learn how to do the bottom.